Hey everyone, Gorgon here, and today I wanted to make a tier list on all the shells that are available in Marathon. With its release coming today, I figured it was no better time than to give y'all a heads up on which shells are good, which ones need maybe a little bit of buffs, or maybe some that even need some nerfs. Now, the criteria for this tier list is going to be early game rankings. Now, I'll give a little tidbit on what I think their ranking could be in the future once people get better upgrades and mods for each of the shells. But right now the first ranking is going to be purely based off of the first 20 levels that you'll have, first 10 hours of gameplay, so you can get the best start you can in the game. So starting off with the Destroyer shell. Now this guy, if we come over here, look at his abilities. He's got the Riot Barricade, he's got Thrusters, Tactical Sprint, and the Search and Destroy Prime ability, which all on their own are very strong. The main issue I have with this shell out the gate, fresh out of the box, no upgrades, are the Thruster and Tactical Sprint, which he uses a lot to be able to maneuver around and really take the fight to the enemy. Use a lot of your stamina. So without all the upgrades, your stamina is very, very low. You can thrust one time and maybe sprint for a few seconds after, or you can tactical sprint for maybe 10-15 seconds tops before you're completely out of stamina. So with that, it makes it hard to really get his full potential. So early on, I think Destroyer is going to have to be a B, but that's only early on. And to go off of this as well, the Search and Destroy ability is great. It is incredibly strong at clearing enemies out of their positions and killing ads. A lot of the AI enemies get destroyed by this ability. But right now, when it comes to fighting players, I tried over and over and over, and I could never get the Search and Destroy perk to really work on actual players, because early game, we all have gray or maybe green, and a few people have blue shields. I only ran into maybe 2 or 3 players who had above a blue shield. And for this ability to activate, you have to do sustained damage. Well, a lot of the players were dying before they'd even have a chance for this ability to activate. So I was like, okay, this is mostly for clearing out AI, which is fine. But if you really want this guy to be moved up, we're gonna need the guys to get better shields. So I think late game, once you get all your upgrades and players have tankier builds, I think he might be able to make his move up to the A tier. But for now, I think he's a solid B. He's simple to learn. The main thing is right now, his abilities just don't seem to really hit the same way some other characters do. So with that, we're going to move on to the Assassin shell. Now, over here. The Assassin shell, he's got his just invisibility cloak, he's got his smoke screens, you can slam the ground while airborne to make a smoke screen go invisible, and I think Assassin is very strong just off the rip with no upgrades. He doesn't have any movement abilities, so that could be seen as a plus and a minus. The positive of that is that his heat level is not as important as some of the other characters, because he doesn't need to be using abilities that use up a bunch of heat. On the flip side, it's a negative, because if he gets stuck in a fight, the only thing he can do is go invisible, and if not, he's pretty squishy, not the fastest, so he can die very easily. So that's definitely a knock on him. But out the gate, without having any upgrades, I think that he's incredibly strong, and so because of that, we're going to put him up in A tier. And that's just because without needing any upgrades, you can go invisible, you can flank, you can do everything you need to do with this character and be effective with him without having to be leveled up. And I think he can only get better from there. I don't know what all the mods are yet. I don't know how much we can really push to get his ability back as fast as possible. I think that's the main thing that we can do, is try to get his abilities back very, very quickly, so you can constantly be smoking and constantly be going invisible, which might be able to push him up to the S tier. But S tier is like the top of the line best shells you can have. So that's going to be a select group, and there might be only a couple up there in this video. Moving on to the Recon. Now, man, Recon is insane. She is insane. So the tactical ability, the tracker drone, was absolutely busted in the server slam. I swear people were throwing these things while I was on the other side of a building. They would just throw it at the building and it would find me inside. It would hunt me down. And so not only did it find me, alert them that I was there, show them my position, it deals damage to you, and it gives you a debuff where you can't heal as much whenever you have the debuff on. I mean, oh my gosh, that's all in one ability that they get back really quickly. So it's like a constant spam of tracker drones, and you know, just insane. Going to the Echo Pulse, obviously incredibly strong. It's a you press one button ability and people are shown to you, which is very, very strong for being able to just, hey, are there people near this building? I don't know, let's just throw my ability out and see. So they have two abilities where you just kind of press a button and things will go well for you. Now, some negatives on this character is no movement. They cannot get out of fights very easily. She is not the fastest, definitely a slow playing shell where you want to be in the back. You don't want to be getting in a bunch of like one-on-one gunfights head on, because you're just probably going to have a hard time with that. You can't get out of the situation as much as some of the other shells can. So the passives, obviously very strong. You can see footprints behind people whenever you break shields. You get a notification whenever you're pinged. So it's just very, very strong character out the gate with no need for upgrades. Immediately incredibly strong. I think is a must-have in any 3-man composition. I think a Recon is a must-have shell for sure. So because of that, they can only get stronger. She can only get stronger with upgrades and getting your ability back even faster. I mean, who knows? There might be an ability where she gets 2 drones. I don't know what the upgrades will have in the full release or what mods will come out, but she is instantly, I think, a must-have shell. Sorry, not operator. Must-have shell for the early game especially, and she's going to be that way forever. Unless there's a bunch of counters to her later on where people have the ability to not get spotted by her abilities. I don't know. We'll have to see when we get further into the game. Moving on, Thief. Now, Thief has not been played much at all. The most I really have is gameplay from other streamers when they did the alpha testing. It looks like a very strong character for solo play. Now, movement has great movement. Has some grapples, like a grappling hook, but it hooks onto the air, not just onto walls, so you can grapple whenever you need to. You have a visor that you can activate that will highlight enemies, and it will also show the containers that have valuable items in them. So it'll show color. I'm guessing it'll be like, if it's gray, it means it's gray items. So that is like the most valuable item in that box. Blue items, purple items, so on and so forth. And then you also gain increased weapon handling and grapple acceleration recharge rates based on how full your backpack is. So this character seems like doesn't really provide much for the team, but definitely provides a lot for her individually. And that's because, you know, as you get more items in your backpack, you gain the benefit of that. But the one thing I will say, the prime ability, being able to put the drone out and fly it around, is good for solo play, obviously, but is also very, very strong for team play. So I think we might be able to see her sneak in and be a really strong character. Now, as I've never played her, I don't know how strong she actually is in practice. So she's a really hard one to rate because I really haven't had a chance to test her. The other ones I had many runs with each of them, so it's very hard to tell where she might land. So I'm going to put her, I wish I had like a B+. I'll put her above Destroyer, but below Assassin for now, just because she seems like, unless you're playing solo, she might not be the best because her main team ability is only her prime ability. So we're going to put her there for now. Moving on to Triage. Triage is also another one of those that I think is a must-have in every single team composition. Right now, I think the best team composition is Recon, Triage, and then either Assassin or Destroyer. Honestly, the last one is kind of up to however you want to play, like what style you want to play. But I think Triage is a must-have. He can throw out 2 healing drones. Either he can put one on himself, or his teammates, or both his teammates, which will heal your health first, and then it will go and heal your shields, which saves a ton on, especially if you get hit a little bit and you just need to fill up your shield really quick. He's great for saving on your heals, so whenever you get in big gunfights, you don't have to worry about running out of heals. But also, if you have a teammate get lit up and they're healing, it just speeds up the healing process, and they're constantly getting that little bit back that the enemies might not have. His prime ability, being able to instantly reboot players, not only revive them from being down, but if you get finished, he can instantly revive you from being finished, which is insane. Insane. And you can res both your teammates at the same time. You can EMP enemies with it, which I've only done a couple times. I mostly just save it for my teammates who are downed. But oh my gosh, this guy is strong. Like I said, must have character, I think, in my opinion anyways. Just the ability to instantly revive people during a fight has gotten me killed multiple times, where it's like, I want to target the triage. That's like my goal when I see him, is like, I gotta get rid of him, or he's going to negatively affect this fight for me. His passive traits are also just really strong for keeping him cool, like keeping his heat generation lower, which means he can go do activities fast, like for longer, sprint longer, do all those things. Very, very, very strong shell. Because he, in my opinion, is a must-have, I think he's just behind Recon in the S tier. Moving forward, we got Vandal. Now, Vandal's an interesting one. Very strong for solo play. Loved playing her solo. Incredibly fast character. She has a grenade launcher arm that you can charge up to do more damage, and it knocks enemies back. And I think, if I can remember, I will insert a clip here of me boosting a person into the air and then killing him while he's flying through the air because he couldn't move. Very, very, very fun to use. And it's great for clearing people out from behind cover. Whenever you shoot them, they get cracked, they're trying to heal. Boom, they get knocked out from behind the cover, you finish them right there. Can separate teams up. I've had it hit my team and all three of us got split up, and I was like, oh no. You know, how are we supposed to support each other now? Her prime ability is Overcharge, makes it to where she can sprint for longer, has more heat. Her slide goes very, very far. She has more double jumps. Her double jump is one of her passives. Very, just very fast character. I think her main trait is being able to go vertically change her position. I have many clips and plays where I'm in a 1vx situation. I'm able to quickly change heights and take out enemies that, you know, they're not expecting me to be able to go from ground level to the second floor of a building instantly by climbing up the back of it using double jumps. So I think right now, because she can work well with a team, really depends on how you play her. If you are not careful and you get overheated all the time, she's not good, so that would put her down in B. I think she's a solid A- to B. And one thing to piggyback off of with the Vandal is I think she could really quickly jump up to being A tier for sure, maybe S tier. And again, this comes down to what mods are going to be fully available, which ones will we unlock as we start getting to get into this game for real. But mostly getting those heat gain, like where you gain more heat in general, where you have, I guess, overall stamina, you have more overall stamina and you regain it quicker, plus her own abilities. I think she could really become a movement machine. Truly being able to just like fly around the map, very hard to catch, keep track of, all those things. She could easily make her way up to that A tier slot. But I think right now she's really fun, but in terms of overall effectiveness, it's kind of like she could go here. You know what? With the plays I was able to make with her, she's going bottom A tier. Rook, for now, we all know the Rook. Is he even on here? No, he's not. So the Rook is like the scavenger class. Out the gate, I mean, let's be real, comes in with a pistol. He is technically free money. You get in for the free kit. If you can extract with him, that's just free gear. But I have seen some of the upgrades he can get. And he can get to a point where he can spawn in with the double barrel shotgun. Now, that to me, it makes him low-key S tier. And that's just because at that point, I mean, the shotgun is so expensive, and he can get other perks too, where he spawns in with more heals, all this. He is free gear, is basically what he is. And because of that, I think for now, the original Rook is D tier to me. I didn't really play him much in the Service Slam because I don't really see the benefit of him without having all the upgrades. But with his upgrades, where he can spawn in with mods, better guns, and better heals, I think he could definitely sneak his way up as one of those. You're in a pinch, you need some gear, you need some money. He could definitely make his way up here. But right now, he's kind of just a meme to me. You know, it's kind of that, just the, you feel bad for him when you see him in the raid and you're like, okay, I should probably kill this guy, but I don't really want to. I feel bad, but I'm going to in case he has good loot. That's where he is for me right now. He's kind of a meme. But I think with the proper upgrades from the factions, I think those are through the faction upgrades, you can definitely get him up probably to A tier in terms of just pure, he's just a pure loot gainer. So those are my overall rankings, I think, early game. So S tier, those are the guys out the box, don't need any upgrades. They are just better than the other characters immediately. And I think they are must-haves on every team composition right now, unless they get nerfed or changed in the future. I think the A tiers go to the Assassin and the Vandal, just because, again, without all the upgrades, I was very, very successful with both of them. Very fun characters as well. I know that doesn't really matter to some people, but to me they were very fun, and the playstyle matched with me. So, you know, again, this is my opinion. So I think they're A tier, and they can only move up. In the B tier, we have Thief and Destroyer, and I really think with getting to play the Thief, she might be the S tier. She might be the best character in the game. I haven't had time to test it out yet, but I just want to get this video out early so that other people who haven't played at all can kind of see which operators. Oh my gosh, shells. I'm sorry, playing too much Siege recently. Which shells are really the best ones to start off with. Also, another thing to say about these top ones: Triage, Recon, very easy. They're literally, you click a button, characters, and you're successful. All the rest have a much higher skill gap, which could mean, as we progress, maybe Destroyer with the proper upgrades and very high skill is a very high level character. We don't really know yet. We haven't had enough time to test everything, but I think he could definitely make his way up. Same with Thief, and with these other two. I think they could really make moves. This whole chart could change overnight depending on what updates are made. But I think overall this is what I'm going to end off with. So thank you for watching. If you want to see more gameplay, I will be grinding this game and other games coming up soon. Many more videos to come. Some tier lists for guns will be coming in a few days, hopefully. If you want to catch a stream, I stream over at twitch.tv/GorgonyR6. Love to see y'all in the streams. I love interacting with anyone in chat. It's a lot of fun for me and hopefully fun for y'all. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.